Okay, in this video we're going to talk about your Note 20 Ultra. People have claimed that they have lag in shutter speed. So what we're talking about is the camera on the Note 20 Ultra. So people have claimed that there's a lag, okay, when you press the shutter button on your camera. Now there's a couple reasons why this would happen, and let's explain why. If you know your internals of your device and you're really tech savvy and you know what's going on, this is really simple to figure out. So basically what you have is your phone's memory is like a 1,000-lane highway that's going 1,000 miles an hour in each lane. Okay, your SD card is like a 2-lane highway only doing 40 miles an hour. Okay, so if you switch your camera setting over to internal storage, okay, and you take all your videos and your pictures to the internal storage, you're going to see that your camera is going to operate a lot better and a lot faster. So what's the reason why? The reason why is because that the camera has to do a lot of things, and storage is one of them, transcoding and stuff like that. So when your camera, you press that button, your camera has to do a lot of things, and it has to send that photo in data, okay, to the storage. If it's to the storage in your phone, it's 1,000,000 miles an hour, because the memory in the phone is massive and it's very fast. All right. Now, if it's going to take that and put it into the actual SD card, it's going to be a lot slower, and that's why you get that lag, because the phone is basically trying to shove all that data into a memory card that's extremely slow. So that's why you get like that, second lag. If you take a video, an 8K video, it won't allow you to put it to the SD card. Okay, it has to go to the internal memory for a reason. Okay, you would be sitting there for 3 days to try to load into an SD card. If you're taking 4K video, 30 frames a second, you might be able to, if your card is fast enough, the phone, you can switch it to SD card. It might go to the SD card. If you're doing 4K 60 frames a second, well then it's not going to go to the SD card at all. It's going to go to your actual, it's going to force you to put it into the internal storage. So you got to think about, not only are you putting in video, you're also putting in audio and all kinds of other data in there. Have you ever noticed when you transfer a file from a fast device to a slow device, it takes a long time? Or if you transfer from a phone to a computer and you're going through, your USB cord, it's slower. And even though the phone's extremely fast and your computer is extremely fast, well then the controller that puts those two cables together is actually slow. And that's why you get that slow speed. So it happens with every device, so you can't blame the actual device. So basically, don't matter how fast it's important to have the fastest memory card possible and the largest memory card possible. And that's why I tell everybody that when you buy the Ultra, the Note 20 Ultra, you must buy the 512 version. If you buy the 128 gigabyte version, you will be very unhappy. And there's a lot of people that are selling the 128 gig version, and then they find out there's a reason why. They find out that it's actually not sufficient, and they end up buying the 512 version, and it's a total nightmare. They lose their money, and they're buying another phone, and they should have just bought that phone to begin with. Go ahead and just trade in your phone at Samsung, .com, whatever. Get your $650 credit, and that's the end of the story. It's that simple. Don't go through the carrier, because the carrier, you can go to Samsung. Okay, Samsung is giving you the rebate on the phone. The carrier is not giving you anything near that. If you're lucky, you're going to get $300. At Samsung, you're going to get $650 for your previous device. It depends on how old it is. You might be getting $350 because they'll take in a Note 8. I believe they'll go down to a Note 5. So that's not a bad deal. You're going to buy the phone basically almost half off. And the best thing about buying the 512 is that it will be factory unlocked from Samsung, so you don't got to worry about some you know, some young kid unlocking your phone and worrying if it's going to have problems or brick it or whatever. So I got the 512 Ultra unlocked from Samsung, and it is screaming fast. There's no shutter lag whatsoever. Even when I put it on the SD card, it still does what it's supposed to do. If it's hard to notice the difference, let's put it that way. It's very hard to notice the difference in the shutter lag, if there is any at all. And especially shutter lag really happens when you're doing ultra high resolution photos or ultra high resolution videos, because of the fact that, like I said, the transfer of data to the internal memory, okay, and then or compared to the actual transfer of data to the SD card. So that's the reason why, and that's the truth behind the shutter lag. I hope that helps you out. We'll make a few more videos to explain certain issues and certain things so you understand what's really going on. Have a good one.